we're back with some more Elite Dangerous. And looking at core mining, there's been a lot of people asking about this. Not a lot of information on how to do the core mining, exploding asteroids and that kind of thing. So let's just take you through the whole process from start to finish. And hopefully by the end of this you'll know everything you need to know about how to do core mining and extract those valuable resources. So stick with it and we'll go through everything. So firstly, what sort of systems are you looking for? Anything with these ring planets like that, look a bit like Saturn with the ring around it. That's the bits that you can mine. So I'm going to go ahead and explore this planet here, see if we can find any hotspots that we need for the core mining. So let's just have a quick look what I've got here. Abrasion blaster, seismic charges for blowing up the asteroids. Got these displacement missiles for sort of tunneling into the asteroid, right? And also the normal mining laser. And importantly, we're going to be using this surface scanner to actually find where the hotspots are. So that's all the things that you need, as well as your refinery, which will be used to process all the stuff that you're mining. So that's pretty much all you need. And enough cargo space to take your stuff back with you that you mine. So let's just head into Super Cruise and we're going to check out this first planet here. If anyone's got any questions about how this works, just give us a shout and we'll try and help you out with that. It's quite complicated, the mining, so don't worry if you don't get it or it doesn't seem to work at first. But we're just going to go through all the different steps and explain in more detail how you actually go about the core mining. So I'm heading towards this first site. There's these resource extraction sites. We tend to get a lot of pirates around these though, like for example the hazardous one. You've got to be careful when you're mining these sorts of areas. But if I use the surface scanner, I can locate where the hotspots of the valuable resources are. They can be up to about 200 grand each, so, or 200,000 credits. So if you get those, you can be taking several million back with you, and that's really the big payday on the core mining. So you can use your D scanner to scan through all the planets. But in this case, I'm just going to use the planetary scanner, which will give me information about the planet I'm looking at. So let's just cruise over there. If you look on the system map, it will also tell you if it's a metal-rich ring or if it's icy. Both of those are quite good for mining. You can get different things in the core mining. So let's just have a scan of this ring here. Right, so that's my surface scanner. And again, if you need any help setting up these fire groups and getting everything to work practically, just let us know in the messages. Alright, so I pulled up in Super Cruise. Get close enough and don't be going too fast in the Super Cruise there. You've got to slow down so I can use this thing. And then I just press right trigger. And normally you're firing these at the planet to scan the surface, but what I'm going to do here is just fire it towards the ring. Aim out. See that there? So now that's located a hotspot. So now we can actually fly to this location. And that's hopefully where we can crack some asteroids and get this stuff called monazite. So that will show up on your, there's one there, panite hotspot. Yeah, so we've got a few different hotspots that we can look at here. Like I say, you just use your surface scanner, and in Super Cruise you send those drones to do a quick scan and hit the ring, and that will tell you. What I can do is scan all the rest of that and get the full planetary scan. But we're just going to go straight into this hotspot here and take a look at it. So I found a system with ring planets. I've used my surface scanner to scan the ring, identified the hotspot, and then I'm just going to go fly into that location to have a look. Can be quite tricky when you're landing on these rings like this, but if you just come in slow, should be okay. So I'll drop out about here. So one of the important things that you will need on the utility mounts is the pulse wave analyzer. This is basically a device that scans all the asteroids and it gives you some idea which ones you're looking for by highlighting the different colours. So I'm just going to head down towards the asteroids here. When we activate this pulse wave analyzer, that will scan all the asteroids. And the ones we're looking for are a bright yellow colour. So one thing you just got to be careful that you don't get hit by pirates when you've got loads of cargo on board with a ship that's not really equipped to fight them. It seems pretty quiet around here. Just saw the one security ship there, but not much else. So what I'm doing is I'm just pressing right trigger with this pulse wave analyzer equipped here, and that's in the utility mounts where you would put your shield booster or your shaft launcher and things like that. If they don't sell these things in the station, then you're right, you might have to go to a different system or a different station to see if you can find those mining tools. They won't always have them in every station. So you need to check different places until you find the ones that have got the stuff they need. But if it's got a lot of mining, you'll usually find that they've got the stuff that you need in the stations. If it's that sort of industry, like extraction, mining happening in the system. So as you can see, this one's slightly different to the other ones. These are all coming back blue, but this is a bit more of a reddish colour. Sometimes it's a bright yellow, that's more the ones we're looking for. So if I wanted to check what's in the asteroid, let's pull up near to it, and then I'm going to fire off this Prospector drone.
Programming Limpet drone.
So I just press left trigger there to fire that off. That connects into the asteroid there, and then it will tell me everything that's inside.
Asteroid scan complete. Scan detected.
So we do have silver in a subsurface deposit here, so let's take a quick look at that while we're here. So ideally we're looking for these asteroid fissures, which are the cracks in the asteroid that we can fire our charges into to break the thing open. But you won't always find those in the asteroids, but sometimes they'll have valuable things inside. So This one's got a subsurface deposit, so let's take a look at that. So I'll get my displacement missile, line that up. Just got to check that's not on the opposite side. That might be on the other side. There we go. So you hold down the right trigger and then that deploys the drone. Can you see these blue bars? We're trying to get it in between them. So if I catch that right, that will be successful. And then you just open your cargo scoop. And you would normally scoop those up, although it can be quite tricky trying to get those. So one way to make it easier is to use collector drones. So these collector limpets will automatically pick up any fragments that are hanging about and take them into your cargo scoop. So it makes it a lot easier than having to chase around trying to get it in your cargo scoop. It can be quite awkward, especially if you've got a bigger ship. So as you can see, it's grabbing the thing and bringing it back. And that was a piece of the silver fragments that we've got there, so there's a bit there. So it makes the whole process more automated if you've got these collector drones that you're just zapping things and it's being picked up and taken into your refinery. Let's just have a look where that's being sent to. See that there, silver. So it's just filled that up. I'll just show you my inventory. It's just created that one piece of silver basically for 37,000. So that's not too bad in terms of the price that we can get for it. But ideally we'll get these high ticket items of about 200,000 each. So this monazite will be around that price. So better if we can find that. But in the meantime, we could always stock up on things like this to add to the overall profit. So once you've got the refinery installed, that just processes the different stuff. And when you get up to 100%, that creates one full unit of it. So that's that subsurface deposit. Can be quite tricky to get these, but you just hold the right trigger down and keep holding it down all the way. And then when it hits the blue, you've got to release it. One thing about the collector drones is it's actually easier to have nothing targeted and then just leave them just to do their own thing. If you select the actual fragment itself and send the collector drone, it tends to expire after one collect. Like it'll bring it back and then it'll just disappear. But if you just leave it, don't select anything, and just have a collector drone hanging out there, it'll just automatically pick everything up. So I can keep hitting this until it runs out. So that's another bit of silver refined there, so yeah, just under 80 grand. So let's move on to another asteroid now, and we'll see if we can find one that's got the fissure. So I'm going to switch back to my pulse wave analyzer. We can carry on scanning these asteroids. Alright, so we're down on the asteroid belt here, located the planet with the rings, and giving it a scan with the surface scanner to find where the hotspots are located. Now we'll just come down to this hotspot here, void opal hotspot here. And there's platinum, lots of other resources around that we've located with the planetary scanner. So now I'm using the pulse wave analyzer here to scan these different asteroids, and we're looking for the bright yellow ones that contain the asteroid fissure. We've got to look around. No direction. Then what's this over here? Got some brightly coloured ones. Just going to check these out with the Prospector Limpet. So again, you have the pulse wave analyzer to scan these. This is in your utility mounts, where you would normally put the shield booster. And that just scans through all the asteroids, and as you can see, some are coming back a different colour. These are the ones that contain the deposits. We're looking for the asteroid fissures. So I'm going to fire a Prospector Limpet. The asteroid I'm looking for. So this would be a brightly coloured asteroid. Shows up on the pulse wave scanner.
Prospector Limpet engaged.
Okay, there we go. So we've got our core detected.
Asteroid scan complete.
This is what I'm looking for. These are the asteroid fissures. I can use my seismic charges on to explore the whole asteroid. And we're going to get this high value resource inside. I call it Grandadierite because that's easier to remember, but it's something similar. Grandadierite, something like that. So let's get this cracked open. So you hold down the right trigger to fire off your seismic charge there.
Detonation sequence initiated.
I'm trying to get within that blue yield, so I want to try to get the right amount of resources without blowing up the asteroid too much, essentially. Just drill that in a little bit deeper there. I'm going to try and place these charges around the asteroid. Seems to be about 3 or 4 is ideal. I think I can go a bit more on that one, so I'm just going to place another charge. I can see those fissures. They're on the back side there, so we'll have to go around the other side for that. These resources are the most valuable. You can get up to like 200,000 for these, so well worth finding. There we go. Right, so I've set my 4 charges. Just going to get to a safe distance because this whole thing's about to blow up. So we can wait for the asteroid to explode, or we can just set the timer ourselves. And we've gone there and just press detonate now.
In 10 seconds.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Warning. Sensor disruption.
Alright, so as you can see, the asteroid's been cracked open and we can get the resources inside now. So these are all surface deposits, so for this I'll just use my abrasion blaster.
Cargo scoop deployed.
So I have my cargo scoop open and I'll send the collector drones out there. We'll collect the resources automatically. So that makes it slightly easier than having to scoop it up with the cargo scoop. So I'm just going to blast these surface deposits with my abrasion blaster,
Collector limpet
and the collector limit will
programming limpet drone.
pick these up automatically and pull it into my inventory. And on board I've got my refinery, which So we refine all these different resources here. So this is what I'm looking at, Grandidiorite here, Grandidiorite. So as you can see, it's actually freezing up my entire screen here as well, because we've cracked open this asteroid. It's full of water vapor as well, so just bring down your visibility. Essentially like a big cloud of ice here. So just put out another collector drone.
Programming limpet drone.
So these are all surface deposits. If it was the subsurface deposit, we would use the displacement missile and that drills into it. These are quite easy, you just shoot them off the surface. Okay, so now we've refined a full unit of that stuff, so we can see how much it's worth. So there you go, we've got two of those. They're worth just under 200,000 each. So quite easy to bring back millions of these. I've almost got 1 million already, so looking at around 600,000. So I could easily get about 1 million just from this one asteroid. So this is perhaps where the mining is more worth it, and you get a better profit when it's the core mining. You can also hit these with your normal mining laser, get any resources that come out of the asteroid itself. So if I look at my Prospector Limpet here, I'll tell you what sort of content you've got in the asteroid, and if it's worth just blessing it with your mining laser as well. You can get some quite good materials from that. But yeah, we're looking to get about 1 million from this one. And we've also been picking up tritium in this area as well, so that's worth about 50,000. Worth more than gold and silver, so still quite a high value. And just over 500,000 in that as well. So that was just from one asteroid. Hitting it with the displacement missiles and the mining laser. So let's just make sure we've cleared up all this. Yeah, there's no surface deposit there, so we don't want to miss that. And as I say, the collector drone will automatically pick that up, bring it back into my cargo scoop. Saves me having to go around picking it all up manually. That goes into my refinery there. And then when that gets to 100%, that'll make a full unit of the stuff there. So, as I say, just under 1 million for that now. Let's just move out of this cloud of water vapor that I've created here so we can see what's happening. Yeah, so that's the asteroid that I've blown up, so you can see it's created quite a mess here in the asteroid belt. With quite a large vapor cloud. That's the remnants of the asteroid that I've cracked open. You can do this in icy asteroid belts, so also in the metal rich. But it seems that the ice ones are quite good for getting void opals, and you can also get the low temp diamonds here, which is quite useful as well. They're high value, about 200,000. So don't always have to be in the metal rich areas. The icy ones could be quite good as well. So let's just have a quick rundown of all the things I'm using here again. So I've got some of my fire groups, probably just, that's the abrasion blaster. I was using them to hit the surface deposits. We blew up the asteroid with the actual seismic charges. These are all just on your hard points where you would normally put your weapons. If it's a subsurface deposit, I'll use these displacement missiles which drill down and get the resources inside the asteroid. You can always hit it with your mining laser as well. And I'm using the pulse wave analyzer, that's this one, to scan for the asteroids and see what colour they come back. So I'm looking for those bright yellow ones. That's quite simple. Just put that in your utility mounts where you would have the shield boost, and you can see those brightly coloured ones that we check out with the Prospector Limpet. Let's just fire one of those off again. So you send those Prospector Limpets and that analyzes the asteroid. That's how we found out it had the fissure inside. And the other thing we used was the surface scanner to actually locate the hotspots in the first place. So that's all these that we've located on these asteroid belts on this planet. Anyway, let me know if you have any questions on deep mining, core mining, or anything else you're stuck on with Elite Dangerous. Anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll be doing some more core mining soon, so stick around for that one. And thanks for supporting the channel and getting involved. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more updates, and we'll be back soon with some more Elite Dangerous.